Absolutely, Tom. By going into this Port Authority terminal, there's nothing binding that states he needs to be in there and catch a bus. So he can be over the bridge and in the wind, and we won't know it.
So based on this,
killer of the health insurance CEO and what police found inside what they believe to be the shooter's backpack. An abandoned backpack was found in Central Park, and inside was a stack of Monopoly money, but the murder weapon is still missing. NBC's
meaning all you care about is money.
Tom Winter reports.
Tonight, crucial new evidence in the manhunt for the suspect in the targeted killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
This is not rocket science.
This backpack, found in Central Park after air and ground searches, police believe is linked to the shooter seen in surveillance video. Two senior law enforcement officials say no gun was found inside. What was found? A jacket and Monopoly money. The NYPD says nothing in their investigation so far suggests the killing was related to Thompson's personal life.
The net is tightening.
No, it wasn't related to his personal life. It was related to health insurance. And I'm going to show you why here in a minute. It's not rocket science. It was related to health insurance. And the man wrote on the bullets why it was related to health insurance.
And we're going to bring this person to justice.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams says details like whether or not police have an ID on the shooter are being closely held.
We don't want to release that now. If you do, you're basically giving a tip to the person we're seeking, and we do not want to give him an upper hand at all.
And I don't think it necessarily even has to be a him.
But there are new details about the suspect. New York City's chief of detectives providing a timeline based on video footage to reporters. The shooter arrived in New York on Sunday, November 24th, and was caught on camera at the Port Authority bus terminal near Times Square. The bus he took originated in Atlanta, though it's not...
Okay, so let's break this down. If he got on the bus, let's say in Atlanta, they're saying the bus that he took originated in Atlanta. Let's say he got on the bus from Atlanta to come to New York, right? So that means he purposely brought a backpack all the way from Atlanta to New York, knowing that all that bag had in it was fake Monopoly money and a jacket. That's it. Okay? That's all it had in it. Why is somebody going to carry a backpack from Atlanta to New York with fake Monopoly money in it? And that's it. Okay? Because that's going to be related to this.
Not clear when the shooter got on, given that there were several stops on the way to New York. The shooter then...
And even though that there were several stops on the way to New York, and the bus originated in Atlanta, it doesn't matter, honestly. That's irrelevant to me where the bus originated at, or how many stops it had to get there. The fact still remains that the backpack he took from wherever his house is had fake Monopoly money in it. Fucking, who goes to commit a murder with fake Monopoly money in a backpack? That's it. Who does that? Unless this Monopoly money is significant and it's going to mean something in this shooting.
Taxi to the area where the shooting occurred. It was there for about a half hour before heading...
And he used cash, so he took a taxi. That's letting you know that, because he didn't have to take a taxi, that's letting you know more links to money. Okay, having to do with money. This has to do with money.
Into a hostel on the Upper West Side where he possibly provided a fake ID to check in. He checked.
Okay, and he possibly gave him, well, it ain't no possibly he did, because if he gave him a real ID, they would know who the fuck he is by now. And they don't. So, he gave him a fake ID to check into the hostel.
Out of the hostel on Friday, November 29th, but checked back in the next day.
He checked out so that he could scope out the area where this man worked at to see the day prior what time he got out of work the day prior. So he would know what time to be there the following day. So that's why he checked out, so that he could do his surveillance on this fucking place where this CEO was working at and know when he was going to be coming out of work. So then after he got all his intel, he checked back into the hostel the next day. That's why he would check out and then check back in. Honestly, he could have just left, did the surveillance, and came back without checking out or checking in again. So, he probably checked out the day prior and was going to do it actually the day prior, but something probably went wrong. Maybe there was too many people around. Maybe the guy didn't come out when he thought he was going to come out. So then he checked back in. Because he checked out. When you check out of somewhere, you don't plan on going back the same day. That's just more money to check back in. Right? And you have to go through risking using a fake ID to check back in again. So if he checked out once the day prior, that means that he hadn't planned on going back again the next day. But he had to because it didn't work out when he checked out the first time how he had planned it to work out. For whatever reason, too many people around, the guy didn't show up to work that day, whatever the reason was. And he went back to the same place and checked in the next day because he was already familiar with that place and he had gotten away with using the fake ID at that place already once. So, hey, it didn't work out fucking Monday, so I'll check back in fucking Tuesday and I'll wait. Fucking, that's what that's about, okay?
While at the hostel, the suspect had 2 roommates who say he kept his mask on even when eating.
He didn't plan on having 2 roommates. But because he did, he kept the mask on. That's all that is. Even while eating.
Lowering only when taking a bite of food. And according to a senior law enforcement official in this...
Actually, let me backtrack there. He did that because he probably has some type of immune deficiency or something that has to do with his health. So therefore he kept the mask on around the 2 roommates that he was eating around, only to remove it to take bites of food because whatever's wrong with him or her having to do with needing health insurance for the issue has to do with probably weak immune deficiency or not wanting to catch germs or something of that nature. So that is why they kept the mask on even while eating. And what tells me that is when he was flirting in the lobby with the lady or her, him or her, I guess we'll go with he, when he was flirting with the lady, he took the mask all the way off and left it down. So why not take it off and leave it down while around the 2 roommates while eating? This ain't a mistake that he would take it off while flirting with the lady, but not take it off while eating. So that's what lets me know that around 2 people, they were conscious of whatever problem they have having to do with their immune deficiency. Catching germs or bacteria, close on up around people eating, that type of thing. But standing in a lobby at a distance from whoever he's flirting with, he could take the mask down because he's not that conscious of catching anything from whoever he's speaking with, from whatever the issue is that he had, that he was denied health insurance for. But I'm assuming I'm going to go with cancer or something of that nature. And that is another reason why he had a hoodie on. Probably is bald from cancer, don't have no hair from something having to do with cancer or something of that nature. It's a serious issue that he needed health insurance for.
One moment upon his initial arrival when flirting with a woman who worked at the front desk. The shooter left the hostel at 5:30 a.m. the morning of the shooting. After the shooting,
he left the hostel the day prior also. Where did he go the day prior? Exactly. Or do they not know the day where he went the day prior? Because I guarantee the day prior, he took this same route and went to go do that the day prior, but something went wrong.
Traveling by bike up to Central Park, then by taxi further uptown to a bus terminal where
using a taxi again.
police believe he boarded a bus out of New York City, and from there the trail goes cold. So he comes up over here and comes in on this part of the Port Authority. That's where the NYPD last sees him, but he could be right up here and over the George Washington Bridge and out of town on a bus pretty easily.
Absolutely, Tom. By going into this Port Authority terminal, there's nothing binding that states he needs to be in there and catch a bus. So he can be over the bridge and in the wind, and we won't know it.
Darren Forcher is a former lieutenant with the NYPD. You're looking up at a camera, or you're looking over here at a camera on the side of a store. Walk me through the process.
This is a very unique area. We have a lot of hustle and bustle. We have far more cameras in a place like this based on the dense population as well as the commercial properties that are here.
Police are now investigating if the weapon may be a veterinary gun used to put down animals.
This is a very rare weapon. In essence, this is...
He probably works with animals as well. Either that or it was to signify that the man that he was shooting, he felt like was just an animal from the way that he had treated him when he needed to get his health insurance that they denied him coverage for a life or death situation that he's going through. So he probably doesn't even care about dying.
It's a needle in a haystack, but we have a lot of needles in this one haystack.
And he figured, well, if you're going to deny me my coverage for a problem that I have that's going to eventually kill me, then I'm killing you too.
Which works in our favor in law enforcement to apprehend this violent assailant that's on the streets.
Police also clarified the detail about words written on shell casings, saying they were depose, delay, and deny.
These were written on the shell casings. Depose, delay, and deny. You delayed him his health insurance. Then you denied him his health coverage or health insurance and deposed him. Abruptly, meaning got rid of. Just quickly. Dismissed. Like he didn't matter. Like he wasn't a life. He wrote that on them shell casings. And them shell casings he used, or the bullets from them shell casings he used to shoot a healthcare, United Healthcare CEO. Healthcare, denying healthcare, delaying his healthcare, then just supposedly dismissing his healthcare as if it was nothing. And he killed that man with a veterinarian gun that they used to put down animals because in his mind, that man is like an animal. And the backpack that they found in Central Park that he left there had Monopoly money in it, meaning all y'all care about is money. And that backpack with that Monopoly money in it is significant to the case, in my opinion, because he carried it around with him everywhere and only left it in Central Park when he left town. He could have left it at home, for that matter. He could have left it the day prior in the dumpster at the motel or threw it away way prior. But he only threw it away after he killed the man in Central Park. That tells you something.
Like Sharpie, one word on each shell casing. A possible reference to frustration with the health insurance industry.
Right.